Yo guys, what's up? This is some major news. Maybe I'm a little bit late to the party on this, but Dr. Fauci has been exposed by Tulsi Gabbard for what we knew all along, for what I said all along. I was right from day freaking one. What am I talking about? Well, stick around, subscribe to the channel, and find out. We're going to listen to this clip from Tulsi Gabbard exposing Dr. Fauci. But first, I want to take my victory lap in saying I knew from day freaking one that the whole COVID pandemic bullshit was bullshit on day one. And I am totally 1,000% vindicated today with this announcement. Dr. Fauci knew. Dr. Fauci did it, man. They fucking did it. And you know what's crazy about it is, even this official release is still going to act like it was an accidental lab leak, when we know it's even worse than that. Some shit happens on purpose, some people would say. But anyway, let's listen to the Fauci files being released by Tulsi Gabbard, who I always liked. I liked Tulsi Gabbard even when she was a Democrat. I would have supported her. She dropped out of the 2020 Democratic primary very early on, or she would have had my vote. She actually flipped to being a Republican, and it was so based, and she was so good at her job. And again, I would be more than happy to vote for her for president if she ever ran. But anyway, listen to this.
Before the COVID pandemic, Dr. Fauci, as head of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, provided millions in U.S. taxpayer dollars to fund dangerous gain-of-function research on bat coronaviruses at the Wuhan Institute of Virology, work which is now widely viewed as the source of the unintentional lab leak that sparked the pandemic. Now, in support of President Trump's...
The only issue I got with that is unintentional. I believe if you listen to the Epstein files, the phone calls between Bill Gates and the emails between Bill Gates and freaking Fauci, this was an intentional leak, but that's where I have one gripe. But anyway.
Maximum transparency mandate. Today, on my final day as Director of National Intelligence, I'm releasing never-before-seen communications and documents that expose exactly how Fauci worked with politicized career leadership in the intelligence community to suppress the truth about his actions, the virus's lab leak origins, and his role in directing U.S. funding for this dangerous research that caused immeasurable harm and countless lost lives.
Yes, I believe Dr. Fauci is responsible for the loss of millions of lives. He's costed millions of jobs. He inconvenienced billions of people. The man should be tried for treason and fucking... Oh, I can't even say it on YouTube. But you know what I'm saying. He should be tried for capital punishment. If you know what I'm saying. He should be made an example of in our justice system. People looked to this man and treated him like he was God in the early 2020s. YouTube people were shut down. People were shut down. People couldn't even say the word COVID without worrying about getting shut down online. Sporting events were canceled. Mask mandates were enforced. Vax mandates were enforced. Movies were delayed and shut down. Video games were delayed and shut down. Life as we know it was absolutely fucking ruined, and for some people, they have never, ever recovered. Social life has never been the same since. Kids have grown up dumber. The generation under me is now dumber, thanks to Dr. Fauci.
Now, these documents expose Fauci's direct role in influencing and manipulating IC assessments on COVID-19, and how Fauci lied to Congress in 2024 when, under oath, he denied knowledge of or participation in discussions with intelligence officials about viral research. Perjury!
Perjury, motherfucker! That's what that is!
Also received testimony from multiple intelligence community whistleblowers who reported retaliation for challenging the intelligence community's manipulation of intelligence on the virus's origins, once again revealing a clear pattern of suppressing dissent, silencing critics, and burying the truth. Dr. Fauci's close relationships with the intelligence community enabled him to assume three key roles that shield him from scrutiny. First, Dr. Fauci funded dangerous gain-of-function coronavirus research linked to Big Pharma and their pursuit of universal vaccines worth trillions of dollars. Second, Dr. Fauci was...
And then guess what? People came in with those vaccines and made a whole lot of money. A whole lot of money that we should sue Pfizer for and sue Johnson & Johnson for and get back in our treasury. We got fucked. We got fucked by this.
Behind-the-scenes advisor who, alongside his hand-picked so-called experts, pushed the intelligence community to endorse a natural animal origin to hide his dangerous gain-of-function research that he funded using taxpayer dollars. All of this...
Anybody with a fucking ounce of brain energy knew that it wasn't from the wet market, that it was from, I don't know, the lab in Wuhan, like directly across the street. Everybody knew it. Even Jon Stewart said, who's a staunch Democrat, said, well, if you expect to see a chocolate explosion across the street from a chocolate plant, gee, I wonder if the issue is related. No shit, Sherlock. And you're telling me at least half this country, or almost half this country, bought this man's bullshit and deified this man that was the cause of the pandemic. Fuck Fauci. Arrest Fauci. Arrest Fauci.
This in a deliberate attempt to cover up the truth and shift the blame and attention away from Fauci's own actions. Third, Dr. Fauci became the nation's pandemic pundit, and he publicly pushed lies, disinformation, and censorship using every platform available. Now, according to hundreds of reviewed emails, which are included in this release, the intelligence community almost always incorporated Fauci's recommendations. He promoted a fraudulent paper whose publication he helped prompt as legitimate information for intelligence community consideration. Senior analysts praised Dr. Fauci not as a policymaker, but as what they called an unbiased guide to the real coronavirus experts, while deliberately ignoring experts who might dissent from Fauci's narratives. Now, Fauci didn't stop there. He blatantly lied to Congress under oath during his 2024 testimony to the House Select Subcommittee on the Coronavirus Pandemic, denying that he ever spoke to any intelligence agency about COVID. Now, the correspondence I'm releasing today directly contradicts his sworn testimony. Now, we received statements from multiple whistleblowers revealing that the intelligence analysts who dared...
What's the left gotta say now? That's your hero. Where's your mask now, bitch? Where's your shot now, bitch? That's your hero. Keep that same energy. Keep that same energy you had for him when you were championing him as the second coming of Christ. Keep that same energy, bro. Now what? You want to hold him accountable? Come on, let's go. Let's hold Fauci accountable. Arrest his fucking ass.
Dared to challenge Dr. Fauci's COVID origin conclusions faced threats of retaliation, marginalization, and many suffered career setbacks. For example, a contractor was terminated just days after coming forward to ODNI as a whistleblower. Another example, those who advocated for the lab leak hypothesis or expressed dissenting views were reminded by their managers that leadership would determine which analysts would be promoted and which would not. The message was clear: go along or be punished. Senior leaders also sought to undermine whistleblowers by removing anonymity, which is required in the whistleblower process, as they made their complaints, and also insisting that their managers or attorneys be present during ODNI meetings where these whistleblowers were coming forward with their testimony, obviously creating an atmosphere of intimidation. The COVID pandemic caused tremendous hardship and pain for millions of our fellow Americans and countless people around the world. Now, after years of lies and censorship and cover-ups, the American people deserve transparency, truth, and accountability. The tactics that were used to hide the truth are straight from the deep state playbook. Politicized self-serving leaders like Dr. Fauci covered up their own wrongdoing and abuses of power, manipulated intelligence, lied to Congress, and undermined a duly elected president by restricting his access to the vital facts he needed to keep the country safe. It's time you know the truth.
Thank you. Thank you, Tulsi Gabbard. Thank you for your service. Guys, there's nothing more I can say. The case is rested. And I want to make very fucking clear that if there were to ever be another new pandemic, then I hope, I pray, I beg that people won't be this fucking stupid again. Never again shall we 6 feet distance. Never again shall we close sporting events for it. Never again shall we have to be forced to wear masks, forced to do vax, have our jobs taken. Never, ever, ever again. Fuck Fauci.